Hello, party people. Welcome back to YBI. Y'all know what it is. It's where we talk about you and your finances and us and our stories and how you invest in yourself and grow your ways. I've messed our whole little intro a little saying up there.
The ways and strategies on how to better your financial selves.
I ended up thinking about all the things that we do, and I was just like, I
Uh-huh.
just gotta run with it at this point. And Zion's gonna help me out and catch me up on it.
Yeah. YBI, ways and strategies on how to better your financial selves. We here back after a couple weeks, took a little hiatus or whatever, got busy. Life happens, and we
Life
back.
happens.
So, what's good?
Woohoo.
What's been going on?
Really just been out here grinding. We knee deep in the wedding planning season as the things are running, so that's been taking up all the time. That and work.
Isn't that fun? Y'all need to comment down below because we need Roman and his fiance to come on and go through all of the cost analysis on everything wedding planning. We need that in our lives for financial purposes.
Yeah, I guess let us know if y'all want like a pre one and an after one. We really thought about doing one after we finalized everything to kind of do like a full breakdown for the folks. So if y'all want one before, then sure, maybe like a little like insight into some of the planning things or maybe some saving tips that we kind of ran along the way. All the debates we've gotten into about it, sure.
Well, I said I'm gonna need it. So we're gonna try to make it happen. Yeah. Because I didn't have a wedding. You feel me? Like I didn't go that route. So I feel like breaking down the financial aspects of the generation that's coming and like trying to see what it is that they're gonna be walking into financially. Like you have to be able to prepare for that. And the only way to prepare is to get the information ahead of time. So we're gonna make it happen.
That is true.
Got to make it happen. Tell Alex that I said.
Sure, and that's what we're here for. We're here to share our stories because we be trying to live better. We be trying to grow. That we invested ourselves and then we share how we did it to y'all.
Yeah. So that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking
about something different. Something similar though. It's still on this touchy-feely kind of vibe. It's our relationships with money, our thoughts, our feelings, our kind of quick trip. This might lead to a couple parters because I feel like you can almost go in a couple of tangents with this as we're kind of doing already and seeing how it kind of leads us. So I guess let's get into it. How do you feel about money, Zion?
Man, money's dope. I feel like money changes, or your relationship with money changes as you grow in life. I feel like I started early on, and you read books that my mom gave us, like from Robert Kiyosaki and like Who Moved My Cheese and like all these other financial literacy books. And you just get into the idea and the mindset of, hey, I need to acquire as much money as possible so I can save or so I can buy whatever I want to buy. And I know that some of the first tips that I got from people that I looked up to was when you get your first check, spend it all. Spend every last penny of it because you're never going to be able to do that again in life.
I never heard that.
These were just people that that I looked up to, and they're like, yeah, just spend it all because you get later in life and you're not going to be able to do that because you're going to have obligations and etc. And from then on, it was like, all right, I'm not definitely into that realm, but I definitely have grown over time, and now I feel like my relationship with money is how I can get you to work with me and for me. And I know that that's where a lot of people are landing right now. Is like, we have the get rich quick schemes, but you also have the people that are like investing in crypto and investing in other things to get their money to work even as they're sleeping. So I just feel like that's the phase of life that I've transitioned into now, is buying things that are investment purposes, seeing how I can allow those things to grow over time, and then, just allowing my money to do more and to stretch further. So changes over time. How about you?
I've always I've had a very negative take on money for a while, and most times I really was just like, I didn't really understand why it was a part of our society for quite a long time. I still, at this moment, kind of am towards it, but I realized you needed it to get the things you need to do. You needed to have food, shelter, and clothing. You kind of needed to do anything. So I was like, well,
Roman wants to barter. Roman wants to be on a barter system.
Honestly, like, I've always told myself I'm really gonna stock up a bunch of money, go on a little island, and let that money kind of work for me. And I'll just like mix songs or whatever, like from afar and remotely, and just let that be what it is. I'll make it self-generating, just self-sustaining. Do a little farm, little. So I've been thinking about this for years, y'all. That's where I'll be when I'm old man Rummy Road. Out
Yeah.
there, probably start forging, making swords and stuff. Long-term strategies here, y'all. Think for the future.
Making swords.
Yes,
Making
forging
swords.
fire, out there making knives and such, and then just doing old man things.
See, I had the same
Yep,
idea, but I was a potato farmer. I was just
I'm
potatoes
definitely
because
gonna make
that's easy.
potatoes and
But you're
mushrooms.
forging fire, like nobody, man. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are
I'm gonna
different.
learn one day because at a certain point, when you think about like retirement years, you're like people always like to get bored and they don't never want to figure out things to do. So I'm like, I want to retire early. Also, been on my financial plan and my relationship with money has been just trying to work hard now so I can just stock up and save up, so therefore I can retire early and be able to do things like that. So that's been on my path. Um, ooh, sorry, went way too fast there, and that kind of led me through. I started off like not really liking money to being like, okay, I need it. I gotta figure out how to get it. So like you said, so it can work with me and work for me. Therefore, I can just stack it up and be able to chill with it and just not worry about it. Be able to share, be able to give, do what I need to do, but also be able to just relax and not just worry about it because it's just a big stress for almost anyone you talk to in their life. And I'm like, I don't want to worry about that. So let's just stock it up.
Yeah, I think that that's like the perspective that I'm living in now is like I used to be I used to be very much of the mindset like I have to put all of this away and I need to have X amount of dollars in X amount of accounts in order to feel comfortable. And to an extent that's still something that you should have. You should have your emergency fund, you should have your savings account, you should have your investment accounts, you should have your spending money, all that. But at the same time, I realized that I was depriving myself of so many things that money gives you access to. So like for example, I have my American Express, right? I had the regular American Express, then they upgraded me to whatever, and then they upgraded me again. So I have one of the higher level American Express cards, but you can't get that without spending money. But the mindset I had before was I need to save all of this money, and that is good on one hand, but now I have access to like all of the cocktail lounges that the American Express offers, a concierge service for them to come and pick you up from whatever airport and to take you to your destination for free or whatever it is. Like there are so many other benefits because I'm using money in a different way and not just thinking that I need to maintain. Not getting to a place where I feel like, oh man, I'm just scraping to get by, but I'm utilizing it for things that are one going to bring me pleasure now, but also aren't going to be a detriment to me in the long term. So if I buy a pair of
How long
shoes
did it
now,
take you to shift that? Because a lot of times, like I was just saying, like we were very frugal and cheap for a while. Just want to
mhm,
save a bunch. Then you get to the point where you're like, okay, I need to actually start using money as this tool now. I need to start using my credit card rewards. I need to start investing more. How long did it take you to make that discipline kind of switch?
it probably I would say it probably took like 5 years to, but it also came with
Like,
the the monumental changes that happen in life. Like I purchased a house and I was like, I want to purchase a car in cash and I want to be able to make major, like we spent $20,000 on getting the kitchen redone or whatever, and we were like, well, we're gonna have to spend this money. And if I'm so bent on I can't spend but I need to save, then I wouldn't be able to now. So I got my house appraised recently and it appraised for some crazy money, right? And that only happened because I spent the money to do the upgrades here. But the return on the investment of me spending that same money is more than dollar for dollar. So you spend $20,000 and you may get 40,000 back because of the fact that it's now upgraded and somebody else doesn't have to worry about it. But I think that it came over the course of probably like a 5 year time span, but it also came because of the decisions that I had to make and not be so tied to a dollar amount that you see in your account, but understand that your entire portfolio is what's working for you. It's not just the dollars and cents
see
that
that
are
long
physically in
term.
your account, but it's everything that you got. It's all my assets. If I died today, I have, the The insurance payouts, those are going to come, but you have to pay for those. And then you have like a collection of shoes, so you could take those, you can get, x amount of thousands of dollars. You could sell however many assets that you have. So you have to really think about money,
Assets
not just
over
about what's seeing.
liabilities.
Yeah, you got to see what's the entire portfolio and not just what's sitting in your account right now. But it definitely took like 3 to 5 years of really trying to understand how things can work for you. And then it kind of got me to the place where I am now.
That makes sense. I feel like I followed a kind of. I think I'm actually in some. I'm still in my frugal phase. Like I'm still having a tough time sometimes spending money. But sometimes I do, and I will like treat myself to certain things, and I'm still very much like, nah, I'm just gonna save that. I'm just gonna put it
Yeah,
over there.
I
And
get
then
it.
if I really need to spend it, I'm like, okay, here we go.
That's the thing though. It's different when it's not just like spending just to spend. Like, for example,
No,
I have to
you're
buy
investing.
diapers, right? Yeah, but that's the thing. Not everything's
Yeah,
an investment. Like I have to buy diapers for the kids, right?
that's
And
true.
I just
Yeah.
wait to buy diapers until they're on sale at Target. So Target has a sale, you spend $100 on diapers and they give you $40 back. And then at the same time, when you get the $40 back, you flip the other coupon, then they give you $10 back. So I buy all of my diapers, which may be $500. I may have spent $500 on diapers, but then I got
Diapers are expensive.
$250 back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not that everything is an investment, it's that you have to look at the things that you're going to buy anyway. You have to purchase them at the right time. I don't like spending full price on things. I like to find things that are on sale. I like to get
Because
things
being a
that,
smart shopper, being a smart consumer.
yeah, so it's not just about just purchasing things that you want, but it's about doing it smart. Another example, Black Friday, they had, I do escape rooms all the time. My wife and I like to go and do escape rooms, right? They had a sale where it was like buy $100 worth of gift cards for like $45. So I bought 2 or 3 of those, and now I can do those escape rooms that I was already gonna do, but I'm doing them for the low. But it was still like, this is money. And going back to one of our first episodes, investing in self, this is something that we enjoy doing together. This is time that we are going to spend. This is quality time, but it's not necessarily an investment in terms of financial being lucrative as an investment, but it is like, this is money I was going to spend and I'm investing in you as an individual. I'm investing in our relationship, and I think that that's important. So it's not just like frugally spend, it's not just about being frugal, but it's also about the things I'm going to purchase and being smart about those purchases, which I know that you do already.
Yeah. I just have to, I like to poke the bear.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for. But I mean, hey, I'm sure that you're doing that, which is why I think that the wedding planning is going to be something that's interesting, because a lot of people don't know how to budget for certain things and are like, man, this venue is talking, this is my dream venue, but it's going to cost $50,000. But if your budget for a venue is only 35, you just can't do that. And we get tied to certain things and the idea of certain things, and then it gets to the point where we have to have that and nothing else, even if it expands the budget. And I know that you and
Yeah.
I are not people that are going to fall for that, because people do prey on the emotions of things. So when you're going
They
to
add extra
purchase
couple
whatever,
grand to anything that they hear wedding. They're like, here's an extra couple grand on top of it. It's like,
uh,
no.
you got to be in control of your emotions. Somebody, I think it was Harrison Neville, that I was watching the other day, and he was like, I negotiated for this car that was across the country, and one of his negotiation tactics was to just not come in person until he got to the number that he was comfortable with. So when you get into a purchase type of situation, if you can negotiate over the phone or negotiate virtually or whatever, it keeps you more in control for a longer amount of time, because once you get in there, you get emotionally attached to that thing, that item. But if you're not seeing it, if you haven't seen it in person, if you're just kind of wishy-washy about it anyway, then it makes it easier for you to walk away. I went and purchased a car. They kept me in the dealership for 6 hours. They kept my keys.
Yep.
They would not give me my keys back. They kept me in there for 6 hours. I knew the money that I was going to be willing to spend at the end of the day, but they also kept me hostage, what it felt like. So if you have the ability to negotiate for certain things that you're already going to purchase, whether it be a wedding venue or a vehicle or whatever, like if you can keep yourself outside of the situation by not being present, that gives you some leverage of having the ability to just walk away. And I mean, that was a phenomenal tool that I was like, oh, I need to employ this a little bit more and not be so willing to just go, but be willing to be
Well,
over here and negotiate that way.
that I feel like that's the difference of just where the times we are at. We're, we're kind of from that time where before you kind of had to almost go in person when we were growing up, but now
Hmm.
it's been a shift to where you can do everything virtually for the most part. Not everything, but a lot of
Yeah.
things you can at least start off the conversation over a phone call or Zoom or Google Meet or whatever and get the talk going. And most people, the worst thing someone can say when you ask them for something or a lower price is no. Or most times they want to work with you, they'll say, no, but how about this? And they'll give you some other solution, some other workaround. People always want to work with you. They always want the extra business. So just ask and just see what happens. Get the conversation going.
Hmm. And then at the end of the day, it ties back into how your relationship is with money, like having that hardcore bottom line of this. I'm not paying more than this. Sticking to those
Yeah.
guns, maintaining that, and being willing to walk away from any situation. Like we can't be so attached to anything. I mean, obviously, you got your friends, you got your family, you got those. We're talking about like monetary things, like things
Yeah.
that you don't
You can't take it
necessarily
with you.
need. Yeah, like those types of things. You have to be willing to walk away from. I understand that they'll come back. If you're supposed to have them at the end of the day, you'll be able to acquire it at some point. And telling yourself no is the big key. It's like it's not even that you have to tell others no. It's you telling yourself no, depriving yourself of certain things that you think are going to bring you pleasure, or think that things that you think that you need. Telling yourself no and having that self discipline is something that we have to exercise better as a generation. Like we're so used to things coming right now and having that right now. Um, so I think that that will
You know
be
what?
some.
It's something I started trying this month that I've heard about another place too. It's kind of like a little savings journal note. It'll say this. I'm like, ooh, I want to go out and buy something to eat or something real quick. And I'm like, no, I could save that money. It was like a savings journal where you would write down, instead of spending that money, you just write down how much you probably would have spent and like, you'd be like, oh yeah, I actually saved this money. Just
Mhm.
something I've been trying over the last month. I'm not sure if it's really helping me quite yet, but I've heard other people talk about it and said it's actually helped them, and they
Okay.
kind of quantify how much money they're saving, because usually you don't see that money right then and there that you're saving because it's still there. But if you write it down somewhere and you look at the end of the month, and you're like, oh, I saved $500 because I decided not to go out a few times. Like it does kind of add up.
I do the same thing with
Real quick
time.
tip.
Um,
Time. And, oh
with
my gosh, yeah,
I do the same thing
even
with
better.
time. What I do is in the morning I set an alarm for when I have to get up, and then I set an alarm for the time when I want to get up. So there may be an alarm at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then there may be an alarm at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And I obviously get up with the first alarm at 5 o'clock because that's what I'm required to do. I have obligations and responsibilities, so I do get up with that one. But then I just am consciously aware of the things when that second alarm goes off. And I'm taking stock of how many things was I able to accomplish from the moment when I wanted to get up to the moment when I actually got up. And those types of things are things that you can see like immediately, because this is instant gratification that we're talking about here. Like it's, oh, I got up at 5, I worked out, I went to the gym, I ate breakfast, I got to spend some time with my significant other, I fed the dog, I walked the dog, I whatever. Then I started work and I showered, and then you get to the point where that second alarm goes off and you're like, man, I literally would have slept away up 30-40% of my day because this is what I wanted. So again, telling yourself and depriving yourself of certain things, whether that be extra sleep, and you're sacrificing the extra sleep for the productivity of the day. So it's exactly the same idea, but using that same mindset when it comes to your time is what I like to do.
I love that because you can always get more money, but you cannot get more time. And with that, let's go into sterling statements. Oh, knocking my cord around.
On you. I don't know mine yet.
Haha. My sterling statement would be just finally picking like a venue that we both like and kind of just getting those plans in. That's my sterling statement. I'm
um,
telling y'all what it is.
uh,
Haha. Wait for
yeah.
pictures later.
Why would you? Gross. Um, I would go with spend time with your family, loved ones. We were able to attend a couple weddings recently and see so many of my family and friends. And then, unfortunately, another one of my family members passed away. But being able to spend quality time with my grandparents and have my children spend time with my grandparents and just seeing that lineage, um, is it was really beautiful, just allowing my daughter and my son to hang out with my grandparents and just kind of chill there and see all of the generations in between was beautiful. And I know that we get caught up in so much day to day that we let a lot of our days slip away from us. So I would encourage everybody to not do that. Go to your family reunion or go have a party. As soon as I move, I'm throwing a party and I'm bringing all the family out. Everybody's coming. Like, we just gonna have a big old party, and I am very excited for that. And yeah, that'll be my final statement. Go hang out with your fam.
Yep, I've been recently or calling up the people and just checking on everybody in my family I haven't even really talked to in a while, just like calling them too, not even just texting them, but like calling them. They've been getting real surprised about that. And it's
Yeah,
just, I don't know. I feel like at a certain point where it's like, you gotta just check up on your people and just see what's going on with them and just chop it up for a little bit. Make
yeah.
somebody
Your
day.
grandparents love that. My grandparents love that.
Yeah.
When I just call them randomly, they're like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "What you doing?"
What you want? You want some money? You need some money? And I'm like,
I
no,
don't
I'm
need
good. I'm just,
nothing.
how you doing? I
Yeah.
just
So
want to know how you doing. What's up?
old people love that. Low key, young people love
They
that
do.
too. And so
They
people
do.
love
Because
being
it's
checked on
surprising.
in
It
general.
makes people's day. Is there,
Yeah.
but y'all know what it
So
is over here on
relationship,
YBI though.
money. Mm-hmm. Here's one out of here.
Yeah, tell us what y'all like to, what your relationships are down below. Hit us up on all the channels. And y'all know what it is at YBI, Young Broke and Investing. We may be young, we may be broke. We are always investing. Peace.
Till next time, y'all. Peace.